Well, really, it's just that quiet persistence, you know, a man who really has nothing to lose, right? I think he's even prepared to die, for he's got no family left. We also learn about an earlier tragedy with his family, and really he has nothing left except to track down and essentially get justice. And Jackie has this wonderful kind of scented, almost gracious sensibility. You know, he's very dignified. He's a good man, basically. I think it says it on the poster, you know, about a good man, and that's what he is. Well, he's a quiet man living a quiet life. He runs this Chinese restaurant, which is in the East End of London, of which there are hundreds of Chinese restaurants if you've been to London. He has this woman who really runs the day-to-day operations, but he's there. And very quietly he has a simple life. He makes a living from the restaurant, nothing too much. He even, at one point, offers the police chief £20,000 in order to at least get a clue, a name to help out. In his naivety, he hands over £20,000, which is all his life savings, in order to get some information about who could possibly have done this atrocity, which killed his daughter. Well, I think that's one of the aspects of the movie which is so interesting, is that normally in a thriller like this, say you take Taken, for example, it's very simple. You know, his daughter is kidnapped. He then goes and shoots 350 people in order to get his daughter back. And terrific it was. But there's a whole kind of political aspect to this, which has to do with the IRA, the fact that Hennessy, that's Pierce Brosnan, was at one time connected with it, that Hennessy was part of the peace process, that within his own camp he has friends, acquaintances, and even enemies, right, who it turns out, of course, the people he thought were his friends are indeed perhaps his enemies. So there is a whole, if you will, subplot that goes on, which has to do with that IRA story. Because he's got nothing to lose. And he owes it to his family. He feels that he lost two daughters earlier on, just after the war, after the Vietnam War. In a horrible way, he lost his daughters, and he felt he should have protected them, he should have saved them. It was way beyond his, you know, he had no control of the circumstances under which they were taken, but he feels the guilt of that. And when his third daughter, right, dies, he has nothing left to lose. He feels not only is he does he have to do it for the daughter that's just died, but also for his past as well. And he has nothing to lose, and nothing is going to stop him. I don't think for a second he expects to live through this, and he doesn't care. There's just justice is something, you know, is morally what he has to do, and that's what he's going to do. If it costs him his life, so be it. Well, Jackie is Kwan. I mean, you know, we're all used to Jackie's, the thing he does better than anybody else in the world, which is his kind of comedy, his physical comedy. We've all seen the movies, and they're all great. And I must say that I don't think any of us, I don't think Kathy or the other producer, none of us were absolutely sure that he could play a straight, serious, emotional role, an emotional dad, an aging, you know, a guy at 65 who loses a daughter. I mean, has a lot of emotional weight with that, a lot of emotional baggage to carry. And I'd seen a Karate Kid where he's rather marvelous in that, playing a very straight role. And I remembered the scene where he smashes up the car, which I thought was an absolutely unique scene. And I realized then that absolutely he can do this. And I must say, to his credit, he threw himself into it when he came, and he worked very hard at it. But I think when you see the film, you'll be very surprised. You know, he's excellent. Well, first of all, Pierce is Irish. I mean, that's number one, which helps. Not Northern Irish, because the accent he has is a Northern Irish accent. If you listen to Jerry Adams, that's what you get. It's pretty much look-alike anyway with Jerry Adams. But Pierce, I think, is one of the best things he's ever done. He threw himself into that role. I remember him saying to me he was a little worried about the IRA because being Irish and doing a story like this. However, he went into it sort of with his eyes open, and for once I got some rehearsal time with him before we started, so that helped. And he just found that character, and I think it's I think the character, you know, he finally came up with is absolutely fascinating. Everybody liked the movie, which is unusual. But so, you know, the older people, I think it was it was interesting that everybody should, and I think that's because of Jackie. I think he just brings a gravitas and a kind of an emotional spine to the story that would, you know, another actor perhaps wouldn't. But I think he's also you know, he's an icon and people love to watch him. And I think because he's doing something different and he's so convincing in the film, I think everybody sort of absolutely connects with his character.
Because it's different. And for me, it's like a challenge. I want audience see a different Jackie Chan. It's not always Rush Hour 1, Rush Hour 2, Rush Hour 3. And I want to show audience I'm an actor, can fight. It's not the action star. And I tried so many times, especially very difficult in Hollywood, to find a good role for me. Used to, I received the script in Hollywood, always like a action comedy, action comedy, action comedy. A few years ago, Will Smith invited me to do a Karate Kid. I was so exciting, but also so scary. You know, the audience, they just not accept Jackie hunch like that, you know, with a bear, without action. Only drama. Oh, just teach the martial art a little bit. Then the movie come out, the results so good, the audience accepted, wow, Jackie, good. Then I'm looking for some other different kind of script. Then when I hear the script about the foreigner, especially the writer, that role, only Jackie can play. Then I was, first time when I met him, it was so exciting. When I read the script, for me, it's totally different. Then I said, yes, let's do it. We've been waiting for a couple of years. The script changed, you know, we've find the right director, find the right actor, and yeah, finally we finished this movie. Yes. Yes, he did mention about the action. He want the action more serious, and it's not too fancy, and it's more real. It's not like some other action comedy. You know, it's heavy, tough action, and at the same time, I just tell Martin, I said, yes, I do that, but not too violent. Yeah, I don't really like violent things. He's a lot of secret behind Guan. And he's a secret agent and work for American, work for China government, work for Vietnam, and later on individual, very quiet, just like a very humble, quiet old man, and have so many stories. We don't want to talk about it, and open a restaurant. Just the last daughter. He has only one daughter. The daughter for Guan is everything. Because after Guan's daughter get killed, he want to find out who did this. Of course, there's so many innocent people get killed, especially this right now in this world, same thing. And he want to find out who killed his daughter. Yeah, actually, he want to find out who killed his daughter. Then he can do something about it. It's not for his daughter. It's, I think, for a lot of innocent. Actually, revenge for all the innocent people. That's the he believe Hennessy is IRA behind the head of the IRA. Yeah. So I just shut him down. I believe he knows about the story, what's behind the who did this. Yeah. Because he just annoyed me. You know, I call him so many times, again. Even I'm from London, drive all the way to his countryside to see him. He just annoyed me. And I just do little small things and use my secret agent background technique, use a lot of small bomb and get attention but doesn't harm, doesn't hurt anybody. And again, until he talked to me. Yeah. Actually, that's why I like this character. I want to make that movie, yeah. He's so professional. He's such a big star. And one day I remember I was get up like at 5 o'clock in the morning after makeup, like at 6 o'clock. Then I see players walk around on the set. I say, hi, good morning. He said, hi, good morning. Then the shot about just me talking on the phone pool. And then he was behind the camera and feed me the dialogue. And again, he pushed me so hard. And Martin just, again, he just, yeah, then he swear. And he yelling at me on the telephone, makes me, you know, anger coming out, I cool down and everything. Then after cut, and Martin just, wow, so good. You're acting very good. Then Pierce come over, bye, Jackie. I said, you're going to make up? No. I get up, just come to the set, feed you the dialogue. Now I go back to sleep. Wow, you know, like those kind of situation in Asia or in China, in Hong Kong, the first AD or the second AD or even the director just to feed your dialogue done. But he just come over early in the morning, so cold, just feed me the dialogue and go home. Wow, he's so professional. At the end of the movie, he gave me a painting. Then I said, wow, he's a true artist. He can act, he can paint, so good. Yeah, he's just so nice. And especially on the set, sometimes he just teach me English. Sometimes when I speak not so perfect, he feed me again. Yeah, I just again. Sometimes it just, so pronunciation so difficult for me. He just it's okay again, again, again. It's just so professional. I think we both have secret, and Hennessy have a secret, and he have his own background. He was very very bad guy. He killed so many people, and suddenly turning to becoming a negotiator and talk to the British government. And I think when he do so many bad things, one day he realized it's wrong, so he becoming a peace spoker. You know, talk between British and IRA. Then now they stop. But there's some people still want to do something, get the British attention, what they want. That's what's Hennessy's secret. And my Kwan's secret, nobody knows. He trained like a special force, and he have so many techniques. He know how to make bombs. He know how to kill people. He can know how to save people. But same thing, because we're doing the things by order. Then later on, I quit. Then after I quit, I get punishment in Vietnam, in Cambodia, and I escape. I try to.
We're good friends. We did GoldenEye together. And we've remained friends ever since. And he said, I've got this movie, Jackie Chan, The Foreigner. I read the script, loved Jackie Chan. And that was it. It was as simple as that, really. Brilliant. I mean, we didn't really get a chance to have much of an interaction because his character is tracking me down throughout the film. It's a cat and mouse game. But I was a huge Jackie Chan fan, and still am, even more so now, having worked with the man. Just one of these great characters, legends of the cinema. Someone who has got, fantastic comedic timing, wonderful alacrity on his feet, and for him, I think this movie is a great departure, and one that will surprise the audiences out there, the fans who love him. So, yeah, we had a good time. He brings a humanity, an honesty. He brings himself. He brings all of Jackie's life force to it. It's a father who adores his daughter, a man who has given his life for the country that he belongs to, the country that he was torn from. He's an immigrant, he's a foreigner, he's a fish out of water trying to make a new life for himself, and then on one particular day his life comes crashing in around him and is emotionally devastated and wants to find out who killed his daughter. Very simple. Well, Martin is a taskmaster. He is a man who comes to work fully prepared. He knows the script inside out. He knows every angle that he wants to shoot. So he's a grandmaster of the thriller, and his preparation, as I say, is extensive. And he rules the set with a delightful passion of cinematic, what can I say? He just knows his onions, Martin does. So, and you have to be on your game. You have to come fully prepared, but he's also a most gracious man and takes his time and will take as much time in the day to get the scene as right as possible and as perfect as possible. So I adore the fellow, and because of GoldenEye, which was such a monumental undertaking all those years ago, for him, for myself, and for everyone involved, there was a friendship burnished there in that time. And so that's Martin. Hopefully we'll go off and do our next film next year. No, it was the same man. Just the same commitment, the same passionate artistry and focus, and 150% every take. No, not really. We were supposed to have dinners at the beginning of the movie, but the schedule was pretty tight, and dinners were organized. Two were, and two fell apart. And then once the curtain goes up and you start filming, I mean, that's it. Your time's not your own, really. And when he wasn't working, he headed back to China to do another movie. So we never really got to sit and have a glass of wine, break bread, and shoot the breeze. But hopefully now with the film coming out and the promotion for the film, we shall get together. But no, I really have a lot of time for Mr. Chan. Just a great admiration. And really proud to have worked with him. I love saying I'm working with Jackie Chan. It always puts a smile on people's faces. And when we were on set, I was in the makeup chair for a while. He'd be in the makeup chair for a while, bruises and prosthetics. And then once you get on set, I don't talk much to anyone, really. I just keep my own counsel and focus on the work at hand. So, every now and then there would be a knock on my door and the door would fly open and throw me in Chinese Twinkies. I don't know why. He's trying to fatten me up, I guess. But, yes. What else? Well, he was sitting in the makeup trailer one day and he was showing me recordings of his singing. He was very proud of his singing. And so am I, I almost showed him Mamma Mia, but I thought, no, let's leave sleeping dogs lie. I think it was a joy to go to work every day. When you're working with someone like Martin Campbell and a DP like David Tattersall, who I've worked with so many times now. And I was surrounded by really wonderful actors, all Irish actors, stage actors, great actors on film, and just had a good time making the movie. There wasn't, every day is a hard day but if you love what you do, it's kind of easy breezy. You just know you're going to go into the trenches and the curtain goes up and you have to focus for 12, 14, 16 hours. And it's wonderful just building the movie piece by piece. And you go away and at the end of the day you think, wow, that was good. That little moment there and a bit of embroidery here. And so you slow and steadily build a piece, build a movie. It's a joy to do. I play the first Irish minister, Liam Hennessy, who is a man with a very dark past. And, he's someone who was born of war, really. He grew up in the Troubles in Ireland, and he is very bright, very articulate, and someone who is trying to hold on to his own position in government and within his own people in the north of Ireland. And so into his office comes this man who he really doesn't have much time for, or doesn't want to have any time for. And slowly he begins to erode and invade my space. And I want to close him down. And of course it opens a can of worms politically and emotionally for myself and all around me. And so I find out who this fellow is, and I realize I've got I've got a lethal weapon, on my hands. Someone who's really who knows how to kill and is relentless in his pursuit of me. Because of my past allegiance with certain forces, and because he was born in Northern Ireland and he considers himself a soldier who fought for a war and fought for a cause. I also know that Kwan is somebody who is extremely well trained in terrorism. And so the two forces meet. Well, because politically he's in a very sensitive and gray area of his life, and he wants to hold on to it. He doesn't want to be found out for past indiscretions. He puts a bomb in the lavatory, my office. He comes in. He thinks I have something to do with the death of his daughter. He doesn't believe me. He's already found out that I was part of an organization which had terrorist connections and that I'm not quite the man I appear to be. And so, to get my attention, tries to blow me up and slowly, take out my man force. Just one heck of a good ride, one great thriller. And to see two characters like Kwan and Hennessy go toe to toe, and to watch the unraveling of two men's lives